Hello and welcome to a Foot Weekend League squad builder featuring Cristiano Ronaldo and a 130 or 120k squad around him. Of course, the prices of the players vary a bit. So you're gonna see the squad I used in the Foot Weekend League knockout qualification tournament, a pretty successful run I had with this team, and you're going to see it right now. It's not the most expensive team, so to speak, around Cristiano Ronaldo, but it's a pretty nice team, I have to say. So, in goal, we're going to start with a Brazilian, unfortunately. He's a bit of a weak point, I would say, in this team. He surprised me a bit because he's not that horrible. And he didn't make any major mistakes, so I would consider using him. Instead of him, you could use Ruffier if you like him better, so you could try that. In the right center back spot, I've played with the Brazilian from Benfica. We have to here he is, Jardel with an anchor, and I think he played pretty good, and I liked him. He surprised me as well because you wouldn't consider these two players weekend league quality, so to speak, and these two guys did perform pretty well, so I would at least consider using him. Instead of Jardel, you could use Thiago Silva if you have the coins, but I have to build my coins up again after buying Cristiano Ronaldo, so yes. In the left center back spot, as you saw, we are going to use the inform Marquinhos. I played his normal card before, so that's why I only played 6 games. But he's pretty good. He's a bit weak sometimes, but I liked him, and he's pretty fast, as you can see, with an anchor. So I like him. In the left back spot, we are not going to use a Brazilian. We're going to use, now we have to scroll all back again, or I use here, the SBC Kurzawa, and I really liked him. He's a big offensive threat, so you can use him going forward and going backwards, and he's a very good defender and all-around player, so you could consider using him in the midfield if you want to, as a sub in another squad or something, because he's a very well-rounded player, as you can see. In the right back spot, we are going to use another special card, and that is the Inform Semedo. He's a pretty good player as well. He reminds me a bit of the players like Florenzi or Bruno Perez, because he's pretty fast as well and pretty good going forward, and with a sentinel camp style he's pretty good going backwards in the defensive spot, so he's a pretty good player overall. Now we're going to go to a pretty big weak spot of this team, and I have to be honest, I wouldn't consider using him. I just used him for chemistry reasons, so I wouldn't use him, but you can sub him off. That's what I did, at least, or most of the time. So you have to use a non-rare named Horta, I don't know, Andre Horta. Yes, he has a pretty well-rounded card, you could say, but he's too weak and didn't have enough defending to keep his own against the sweaty players of the Weekend League qualification tournament. So I would sub him off. I did so, and sub on Fernandinho, and he did pretty well, as you can tell. Or not as you can tell, but I think you know that Fernandinho is a pretty good card and you can always use him. So that's what I did. On the left side of the center midfield, I used the Inform Pizzi. As you can see, he didn't support the team with a whole lot of goals or assists, but he was always there. I saw him a bit like my, not Brazilian, Portuguese Kante, so to speak. So he's, the 60 defending is not his real stat, I think, because he did pretty well. Felt surprisingly strong as well, so in the Weekend League you could try and build a team around him, so even in the center midfield, not even in the attacking midfielder role, he's pretty good, and I would really use him. The next card I'm going to use is a bit of a, you can say, surprise in this position, because I used the SBC Jonas in the center midfield, and it's important to know that I didn't swap formations in game, so I played this straight up 4-3-3. and it worked pretty well. I was a bit afraid because the defensive line could be open pretty quickly because you have 3 center midfielders and they could all go forward, and then you're pretty much lost back there. But it was alright. You could use this formation in the weekend league. So at right wing we are going to play Carrillo from Benfica as well. So a lot of Benfica players in the squad, but that's only because of Pizzi and Jonas, because these 2 guys were the outstanding part of my midfield, I would say. So Carrillo was pretty surprising as well, because he didn't support the team with a huge amount of assists or goals, but he always contributed to the build-up play and was always there and was always ready to pass the ball to Jonas or Pizzi to maybe take a long shot or just pass the ball inside the box to the main man of the squad. But we're coming to him later on, because now we are going to place Nani in the squad, and I really didn't want to use him because he felt at the beginning a bit sluggish, and the 86 dribbling I didn't feel really that much. But after a bit of time he provided a lot of assists for the main man of the squad, Cristiano Ronaldo, so I think we're going to put him in there right now. So let's just change that to left forward. There we go, there we have him. Yeah, like I said, Nani provided a lot of assists by running down that left wing and passing it in, and if you have the ball with Cristiano Ronaldo in the box, it's no jokes. You turn around, shoot and score most of the time, so he's a real lifesaver, I have to say that. In one game I was down 2-1 and in the 90th minute I got the ball to him in the box and he scored. So he's a very good player, as you can tell by his stats. All of the stats are played online in the weekend league qualification, so he's a pretty good player overall, and I would definitely, maybe not 1.7 mil, I think he's gone down right now a little bit to 1.5 or something like that, I think. But I would definitely, if you have the coins, I would definitely consider buying him, so maybe bidding on him or something like that. You can save a little bit of cash. So overall I have to say this team was very good. If you want to upgrade the team a little bit, you could change out these 2 guys, Silva and Jardel. But for me they did pretty well, and like I said, Horta I would consider subbing out because he's a bit of danger in your midfield and not a positive kind of danger, so I wouldn't really consider using him, but I would sub him Fernandinho or maybe even something like Kante or Keita. In this case, sometimes I subbed on Keita, so he did pretty well with his strong style of playing. So I would definitely recommend using this team in the weekend league, or at least in the weekend league qualification. There's a bit of difference, as you may know. The triple 5-star skillers up front are very useful as well. If you feel it deserves it, a like on this video would be very appreciated. And while you're there, if you feel like it, you could drop a sub as well. So, we are going to see us in another video, and until then, I'm saying goodbye.